In previous video we saw about the data types. So in now we are going to see about variables. So variables, what is a variable? Variable is nothing but a space which is which is used to store some values, and we are giving a name to that memory space. So this is called Java variables. Variables are nothing but a space to store your values with a name. Okay, so variables are container for storing data values. In Java there are different types of variables. For example, string is going to store text such as hello. So string values are surrounded by double quotes. So next, the variable can be of type int, so which is going to store integer values, which means from uh, minus values and then plus values, which means minus for example, we can consider minus 127 and 0, then up to 128. So this is the values which an int variable can store. Okay, so that is without decimal, such as 123 or minus 123. So next, that is float variable, which is going to store the floating point numbers with decimals such as 19.99 or minus 19.99. Next, the variable is character data type, stores single characters such as A or B. Character values are surrounded by single quotes. Boolean stores with two states. So that Boolean variable is going to store the values of two types. One is true and the other one is false. So what do you mean by a variable is, variables are nothing but a containers for storing our data values, and we are going to name that memory space with a user understandable name. So that is called variable name. So next, declaring or creating variables. How to declare or create a variable? To create a variable, you must specify the type and assign it a value. So this is the syntax. So type refers to the data type. What type of data it is going to hold. Okay, so that is defined here. Next, the variable name. We are going to give a variable name that is easily identifiable by a human being. So variable name is equal to value. Where type is one of Java's types such as int or string, and variable name is name of the variable such as x or name, the equal sign is used to assign values to the variable. So this is how we create a variable. Next, declaring variables. So for example, consider this one. Create a variable called mynum of type int and assign it the value 35. Now what we're going to do is, we're going to create a variable called mynum which is of data type int, and we're going to assign a value 35 to it. So for example, inside the main function, we have created a variable called mynum which is of data type int, and then we are assigning a value 35 to that variable. Now what happens is, this value 35 will get stored in this mynum variable. Okay, when we print this variable name, the value inside that variable will get printed. So system.out.println of mynum, when we print this variable, the value inside this variable mynum will get printed. So what will be in the output screen is, so final variable. If you don't want others to overwrite existing values, use the final keyword. Suppose if the value inside a variable should not be changed by others, we can use this final keyword in front of the variables. Okay, so if we don't want others to overwrite the existing values which is present inside the variables, then we can use the final keyword. For example, public class main, inside the main function, I have given as final int mynum is equal to 25. What I'm intimating the compiler is, my variable mynum is given final keyword, which means the value which I'm going to store 25 will never get affected by others, should not get affected by others. So when I'm trying to change the value of mynum, so the same variable I'm using here, when now I'm going to or try to change the value which is 25 as 30, it will generate the error. So what type of error is, cannot assign a value to final variable mynum is equal to 30. Already it is given as final variable, so you can't change that value to 30. So this is the error generated when I use the final keyword in front of the variable. So next, how to display the variables. The println method is often used to display the variables. When I want to print the variable values in the output screen, I'm going to use the println predefined method. So to combine both text and a variable, I'm going to use the plus character. So inside the main function, so I have used a variable called name, which is of string type. I have given the value as John to that variable. Next, I'm going to print that name variable